A partial government shutdown is now all but certain after the Senate failed to advance a measure to fund the Department of Homeland Security. The deadline is tonight at midnight. Democrats have been trading proposals with the White House to rein in ICE tactics, but no deal has been made. The White House and Senate lawmakers have already left Washington for a 10-day break. CBS News congressional reporter Taurean Small didn't go anywhere. He's joining us from our D.C. bureau with more on the latest over this funding fight. Good morning, Taurean. So what are today's possibilities on this?
I mean, the likelihood that we'll see a partial government shutdown is very high, considering the fact that Democrats rejected outright the proposal that we saw come out of the administration. The details of it aren't quite clear, but according to Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, they were just wholly inadequate, especially compared to the 10-point plan that Democrats put out a week ago. The biggest concern for Republican members of Congress has been this very short window, and we saw yesterday two efforts to extend that time to allow more negotiating. Both efforts failed ultimately. Take a listen to what Senator Schumer had to say yesterday.
Democrats will not support a blank check for chaos. What we're waiting for is, again, the White House to get serious and the Republicans to get serious.
The ICE funding is already done for the entirety of the Trump administration. So they're not affecting that in any way. What they're going to do is shut down FEMA, Coast Guard, TSA, and things that hurt real people.
Republicans again pushing the blame on Democrats, saying that they weren't fully negotiating in good faith with Republicans on this. But I want to point out that it appears that all conversations have been happening between the Trump administration and Senate Democrats, not necessarily leadership on the Hill back and forth, but almost entirely from the White House.
So then, Taurean, what impact would even a partial shutdown have on our viewers?
Well, we'll see. I think the biggest question that viewers may have is how would this affect travel, considering when we've had shutdowns in the past, including the longest one that happened most recently, is whether or not their travel would be affected at airports. The biggest stressor has been on air traffic controllers. That's under the Department of Transportation's purview, so that wouldn't necessarily be an issue when it comes to flights, but there could be longer lines at airports due to TSA agents being affected by this. Typically, they're during government shutdowns required to show up to work, but we've seen what's been called sick-outs with them being calling off because they have a delay in payroll.
All right, Taurean Small with the latest on this. Taurean, thanks so much.